Hi everyone, I'm Fo, and in today's video we're going to discuss finding a stylist and what to do some possible things you could do if you can't find a stylist or you're not ready to patronize one just yet. Now before we hop into the video, I'm going to go ahead and state the obvious. I don't have a wash and go. I have a very cute, springy, bouncy, nice and cute and shrunken twist out. And I did this with 4C Only products, the shampoo, conditioner, the leave-in and the styling cream from 4C Only. They sent the products to me, so I went ahead and did some experimenting with them, and so far so good. I really do like my twist out. I'll give you all a close-up. Is that a twist? I keep thinking that I took all the twist out and there's some still left in. So let's hop right into those resources about finding a stylist. The first possible resource for finding a stylist is to look into some local natural or curl care companies, hair care companies, and see if they have a store locator on their website. Because if they have a store locator on their website, some of those stores might actually be salons. So some of the stores might be salons that can cater to your hair care needs as someone with natural hair, tightly coiled hair, curly hair, textured hair. So there's that, and also some of the stores that might be listed might be hubs for you to be able to ask, hey, do you know anybody that can care for my hair, if the store is not somewhere that is an actual salon itself. So there's that resource. Hair/curl care companies that come to mind that are outside of the US that have those store locators are Bouclim, Trepadora, and Earth Tone Naturals. For Bouclim, I believe that's the one that I saw had the longest list of store locations, with even like a store location in like Lebanon and Australia. I believe Australia. So you can take a look at like a directory like Bouclim's of stores that sell their products and see if the store is a salon itself, or the store is a place where you can go and you can ask questions about, do they know anybody locally that can help you with your natural or tight curled or textured hair. There's also a blog from Black Girl Curls where they discuss how to find a stylist. I recommend reading that blog, but on there they do talk about using directories such as their own directory, the Cut It Kinky alumni directory, where they've taught stylists how to hydrate, define, and cut on tight curls. So that directory might be a great resource. There are other directories out there, of course, but that one might be a good starting point if you're interested in curly cuts on tight curls. I know they also talk about if you can't find someone to do curly cuts, even though you really want them, you could possibly go to someone that can do blowouts and trims. And so you can make sure not to get layers, because you want to wear your hair curly the majority of the time, but you can go and get those blowouts and those trims, which might not only be a good option for people that can't find curl artists, but it also might be a good option for people that aren't in the position to patronize curl artists just yet, because of the price. So there's that. There's also the resource of a fellow influencer, What the Kink. She has a video on how to find a stylist. She mentions some of those directories like Weedad and Rizzo and some other ones. And she also mentions using a search engine such as Instagram. Black Girl Curls mentions this as well. They both mention using search engines such as Instagram and typing things like hashtag what you want for your hair and then the city. So like hashtag natural hair Dallas. That's an example. So there's a bit of the information that is shared in the Black Girl Curls blog as well as with the Kinks video. So I will leave both those resources down below in order for you all to get the full detail on how they recommend going about finding a stylist. So I want to make sure to say that when you're using any directory or any search engine to find a stylist, you want to make sure to thoroughly screen. I can tell you all how I screen, and that could be helpful. So how I screen stylists is I make sure that they're offering the service that I want. I make sure that they're doing hair that looks similar to mine and doing it well. I make sure that I feel comfortable with their price. I make sure that I feel comfortable with their location, and I also make sure that they have good reviews. So I look at all 5 of these factors, not anything separate from the other, because I made the mistake of just looking at a stylist's reviews in the past and not looking to see if she did hair similar to mine, did it well, and I liked the styling she was doing. And I ended up not satisfied with my service. So you want to look at things as holistically as possible and screen when it comes to stylists. Another possible resource that some people can use if they're not able to use directories or they're not able to use those search engines and find what they're looking for is possibly going to Facebook groups for your region. Go to a Facebook group for your region and ask where people are going for hair care services. Of course, just like the directories and everything else, you want to screen very, very thoroughly with any recommendations you get from Facebook groups from consumers discussing hair care advice. So there's that. Now, what can you do if you still cannot find a stylist in your area? This is where virtual services may come in handy. So I did a video on free hair care resources and they're virtual. So I'll make sure to leave that down below either in the description or the comments. And also you could possibly pay for more concise hair care resources that are online so you can get as much knowledge as you can to upkeep healthy hair at home until there's someone available to do your hair locally or until you're able to patronize someone to do your hair. So there's a possibility of those virtual hair care resources. So another option that I want to discuss to help improve there not being enough stylists right now when it comes to a lot of our hair care desires, a lot of our hair care needs, is if you know someone who's a stylist who may be interested, introduce them to hair care education. Introduce them to hair care education. I know that Black Girl Curls has hair care education for those stylists that are interested in hydrating, defining, and cutting on tight curls in their defined dry state. So Black Girl Curls has that education. And then there's also Carmenville Conway. She offers education to advanced braiders, licensed cosmetologists, and cosmetologist students on braiding hair with extensions. And she offers education on twist styles as well as wash and go styles. So Carmenville Conway has quite a variety in terms of the hair care education she provides as a hair care professional herself. There's also Yes Her Studio. So if you're not located in the West, Yes Her Studio has made 2 trips now to West Africa to provide hair care education to people there at their salons there. Here are some of the salons that were already amazing before Elaine visited, but also they now have information on tight curl care in terms of hydrating, defining, cutting hair in a curly state. So you may be interested in some of these salons that Elaine has visited already in West Africa. So if you know a stylist and you're not located in the West, there might be a possibility that you can introduce them to Elaine at Yes Her Studio and possibly email Elaine, get in contact with Elaine, and see if at any point Elaine can come and visit in order to help with hair care education there. So another thing that I want to, let me not forget, there's also a class that's going to be happening in the UK in September 2022 by Amore Hair. I'm going to get her full name and write it down below, but she's going to be offering a course. I believe that this hairstylist is located in the Netherlands, but she's going to be offering a hair care course to professionals in the UK. So I'll pop up a flyer, I'll pop her name down below. So maybe if you know a professional locally that may be interested, you can let them know about this educational opportunity so that way they can begin to provide the services that you're interested in. And also, side note, Amore Hair Beauty does stop by London and take clients in London every once in a while for haircuts there, for curly cut service, for tight curl specialist services. So if you're interested in Amore Hair Beauty and you're located near London, here's that flyer with that information. And I want to make sure to say that it appears that the home base for Amore Hair Beauty is the Netherlands. So if you're located in the Netherlands, then this hairstylist might be an option for you as well. So there's that. Another action step that we could possibly take in order to encourage there being more stylists available is to support causes like what Elaine is doing. So Elaine has a Tight Curl Nation initiative, and I did a whole video with Elaine and Usone Precious, a fellow influencer. where we discuss the importance of the initiative and the ins and outs of the initiative, where she is thinking about issues of people not having products locally, and not just people in the West, but all people of the African diaspora, people not having products locally. She's thinking about that issue and some solutions. She's thinking about providing hair care education to stylists throughout the African diaspora, and so we can help support that by purchasing merch. I know that she also might do some donation programs eventually, but I know for sure right now you can go ahead and you can purchase merch. And so some of us that have the ability to support those sort of causes, I strongly encourage it so we can contribute to more accessibility when it comes to hair care for us as people of African descent. I'm gonna make sure to say that virtual option, it could be really, really rich, as opposed to you just going to one salon appointment and things ending there in terms of your advice. With the virtual services, you might be able to have a lot more, well, you will likely be able to have a lot more interaction with a professional to continue to troubleshoot your issues as you go from week to week, month to month with your hair, working to understand your hair. So virtual resources can be quite rich. Don't sleep on them. I know it stinks not to have somebody in person, but I know that those virtual resources could be extremely helpful. So I hope this video has been helpful in you all thinking about ways of finding a stylist, what you can do if you can't find a stylist or you can't quite patronize a stylist just yet, and how those of us that can support causes such as Tight Curl Nation, where people are working to provide that education when it comes to hair care, how we can support. We've discussed all those factors here today. So once again, my name is Fo. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.